As I was thinking about what we are doing, it really is an opportunity for people to connect with their beingness. We are not conscious of the compartmentalization. We just say, this is who I am, right? Who you are is different depending on the environment that you find yourself in or the people that you find yourself connected with. So I hold myself out as an example. At 71 years old, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to self-acceptance. And I think it may be that way for many of us, that we look at the pieces of ourselves and decide, I can show that. No, I can't show that. Is there a danger? How deep is the danger if I show you all of me? Oh, I can show these people this part of me, and these people this part of me, and these people this part of me. And then the question is, how long before you get tired of just compartmentalizing your beingness?
Hello. Cut that off real quick. Me and you will never part. Good
Hey,
evening,
hey,
everyone. Welcome to the late night happy hour with Carrie Irene and DrSue, where what comes up
comes out. Hey, y'all.
what comes up comes out. We are not ashamed of the gospel of Carrie Irene and DrSue.
I love that. The Gospel of Carrie Irene and DrSue. Yeah, we've been putting it down. I'm just saying.
Because that's how we do, you know what I'm saying? So every night, I mean, every other Friday night, we meet here and we talk about whatever comes up, what's has come up for us during the week, what's come up for us during the day, or we have absolutely nothing in mind and we just come on here and we start talking and we see where it goes. And that is the day that we are in today. We ain't got nothing in mind. Unless Dr. Sue, unless Dr. Sue got something in mind, because I sure don't. But when
Yeah.
I talk, I'll talk.
Yeah. Dr. Sue has procrastinated again for the zillionth time, waiting to the last minute to get her taxes prepared. Now, don't be judging me because I know y'all doing it too. I know it,
Oh yeah, we are. We doing it.
except for the folk that think they're getting some money back. But I know I got to pay, so I ain't rushing. I'm just trying to get it in by the deadline so
Right.
I don't get another a penalty. But
No, that's
so
right. I'm fine.
I'm recovering from that. But I thought, let's talk about self care. Let's talk
Okay.
about the trauma that we bring upon ourselves when we don't do what, never mind what somebody else says, but when we don't do what we know we need to do for our own peace of mind. Now,
Mm.
using the tax thing as an example, every year, all of my life that I have been paying taxes, y'all, every year, I started working when I was 14. I'm just, y'all know I am senior now. And every year, what I do is I have a box, Carrie, look, Carrie,
What you got?
I
Oh,
have,
some big so. That's a lot.
I have, I have a box that I throw shit in. I'm better now because I used to have.
look, you used to have boxes, but you just got one big old box.
So my accountant loves me and I love her. And you know she would have to love me to put up with my shit. I'm just saying
You
straight
got
up.
that right. You got that
But
right. Man.
what, I don't send her the box. The
Well, I mean, I would hope you
box
didn't send the box. And I'm pretty sure she would put RTS on it. Return to sender.
the trauma comes about because I wait until the last minute because it's like I know what I have to do. I start looking forward to dreading this in December. I'm just saying. I know what is coming. And you would think, as Carrie Irene said, as my goddaughter said, as my accountant said, you would think that knowing what I do, I would put everything in a file. Or my goddaughter even said, send it to me and I'll get one of those little machines that you use. But no, what do? I have gotten better in that I will put it in a file, and but it's in no order. So I wait until the last minute. I call her and I beg her to take my taxes. Please don't leave me out
I'm calling big.
here. I am appreciative of the fact that you love me so much that you put up with my shit. But
Hey,
the stress, the stress of procrastination when I know what has to be done. It's like,
yeah.
that's you. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It don't make no sense to
Mm,
nobody but me. I know. No, 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 no. Now, I typically have not had to pay, but all of these years I've still done the same thing. So last year I had to pay a little bit. This year I got to pay. I
mm.
told her, I said, listen, I know I got to pay. Break it to me gently. Make sure you ask me if I'm sitting down. Don't give it to me while I'm standing up.
Don't do it to me like that now.
I don't know if
I
I
want
can
to be
handle it.
comfortable now.
I don't know if I can handle it. So I am in a like today. It the self care part is I sent her my documentation around 2 o'clock this morning, and the relief I felt, the release and the
Yes.
relief I felt because it was done. Now that, Dr. Sue, is what don't make no sense. Because if you had
Mm-hmm.
gotten it done earlier, if you had organized, then number one, you wouldn't have been so stressed. But number two, if you
Mm-hmm.
had not waited to the last minute, dreading what you knew you had to do because you have a picture in your mind of the catastrophe that's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal, Dr. Sue. What's going to be is going to be. What's going to be is going to be. And so, for all of you Dr. Sue's out there, take a moment and breathe and just know that when the shit is coming, it's still coming. It doesn't matter whether
Yeah.
you, the only thing that happens, Dr. Sue, is that you go through, now this is where the hell comes in for me. You go through living hell as you are anticipating and preparing for the thing that is going to come anyway. So since it's coming, y'all, I know I got to pay taxes. Y'all got to pay taxes too. The government's going to
Yeah.
get his, hers, its, right? I know that. So
Mm-hmm.
I reached an age last year where I have to take money out of my retirement, the mandatory retirement. And then I have to pay taxes on the Social Security because I don't have them take that out. These things and other income, I know I got to pay. So why don't I pay it all along, like as an estimate? I don't do that.
That would be too easy.
Instead, all year long, I go through this, and then the last, I'd say, like from December through yesterday. Oh, we
You
talking
stress.
pure anguish because it's down to the wire. And every
Mm.
day I'm looking at the stack of this box, right? Now finally I take
Dang.
the box and now I got it all over the floor because got to organize it. And then I got to write everything down. Then I got to put it in a spreadsheet.
It's a
I don't do
lot.
that. administrative. I don't do administrative. I don't do administrative for me. I don't do administrative. It just. So today I went to the coffee shop. I'm still in work mode. I went to my little cute coffee shop, right? Couldn't get no work done. Too damn tired. Just exhausted from all of the energy that I have expended trying to avoid what I had to do anyway, y'all. Don't be no Dr. Sue. No, don't do that. And so I'm grateful to be on. And tonight we are talking about procrastination, the trauma that you go through as a result of procrastination, the
Agree.
impact that it has not just on your mind, but on your whole body and your spirit. And
Yep.
how when you know what you have to do, it's one thing if you don't know, but when you know what you have to do, and you put yourself in that position, you create your own reality. You create the reality of suffering. You create the reality of angst, of high blood pressure, of all of the cortisol release. You create that. You,
Yes, you
me.
do. Yeah.
And so if that's not what you want, if you don't want to be exhausted, you don't want to be, it's like living in fear of what you know is the ultimate reality. Pay them damn taxes, girl. And so let's not just focus on paying the taxes. Let's just look at, are there areas in your life where you are procrastinating? Are there areas in your life where if you addressed it on the front end, you developed a plan and you worked your plan instead of letting your plan work you, would your life be much happier? Would you be much more at peace? Harry?
I would dare to say absolutely yes, 100%, because it's the anticipation of a thing that typically gives us the most stress, not necessarily the reality of a thing. There are so many realities that we do carry further than it needs to be carried. But at the same time, I dare to say that most things that we carry, we've been carrying them before it was even actualized. You know, like you said, from December to now, you stress about paying taxes that don't only come but once. You know what I mean? So it's just like you said, if you know it's coming and you know what to expect, then it should lessen the blow. But a lot of times we don't, our body don't gives us that memo because we hold it. We hold it in our shoulders and our necks and our eyes and our back and our stomachs. You know, all these places. And like you said, the name of that book was "The Body Keeps Count" or "Keep Score." The body keeps score. And that's so true because I know I can remember a time, and I think I told you this stuff, Sue, where like, you know, I don't know if I call it PTSD, but I would definitely call it a reaction that I didn't realize that had been embedded into myself when it came to a relationship. You know, I had a relationship that certain things would happen, and once I moved here, there was a sound that reminded me of something that happened regularly in my old home. And it made me sit up straight in my bed. And the sound that it came from doesn't even exist in this house. It was just the dryer coming on. And because I was in the bedroom downstairs. And when I moved to the bedroom upstairs, the sound of the dryer cutting on had a very distinct, a completely different sound than when I was downstairs when the dryer was right behind my bedroom. So like when I heard the sound, I jumped up and I had no idea why, because I was just like, what was that? And I was thinking it sounded like such and such. And I'm like, yeah. And I never knew that I had even had a jump reaction to that sound when it was a real sound. But now that the sound was gone, I still had the same reaction because my body was ready to be in defensive mode. My body was ready to be in flight mode. My body was ready to do what I was used to doing when I heard that specific sound. So when you're talking about like making decisions and how soon we should do one or the other, I think one of the things is to stand in situations, period, any situation. I'm not just talking about relationships, work, friendships, hobbies, sports. You know, a lot of times we keep our kids in sports and stuff like that. You can tell they don't want to be there no more, but because you want them to be there, you keep them there. All of this stuff causes stress, whether we realize it or not. Anything that stays past the expiration date stinks. It just simply stinks. And if we think of it in that relationship, why would you consume something that has passed its prime and you know for a fact it's not good for consumption? But how many of us can go to our refrigerator right now and we know there's something in there we know that we need to throw away, but we just don't feel like cleaning the refrigerator? Same. In our bodies, our aura, our psyche, our mental capacity, our heart, our ability to love, our ability to understand, our ability to be empathetic, be compassionate is compromised when we leave things within our experiences of life that has expired and gone beyond its prime, and yet we still try to fit it because we're used to having it when it no longer fits. And then we wonder what that smell is. That's you, boo. That odor of stress, that odor of anxiety, that odor of confusion, that odor of I can't sleep, that odor of why is my fuse so short? A lot of times it comes from things that we know we're supposed to do, or we had supposed to have done, or things that should already be done that is lingering in our refrigerator, causing this horrible odor, and no one can clean it up but you. And until you decide to clean that up, it's going to continue to stink. Just like Dr. Sue. Yes, it causes her stress. Yes, it causes her some angst, but at least that's all it is. But if we really dig deep, we all have those things that, it may cause us the stress and angst, but why would we want to compound that for ourselves? Because that's what we do. I'm not saying everything will go away, and I'm not saying you won't deal with stress, but why compound it? Why compound it with things that you can control? And we have to rein in, the things that get too far gone. And clean the refrigerator. Clean your spiritual refrigerator. Clean your emotional refrigerator. Clean your social refrigerator. Clean your spiritual, like all the crevices and all the things. It's time it's springtime, right? It's spring cleaning time. We gotta clean out all these things so that we can live the best lives that we can live. And that's what me and Dr. Sue always are teaching and preaching. Living the best life you can possibly live by making the best decisions you can make, by clearing out all the things that cloud everything that you know about yourself and who you are, right?
Absolutely. As you were talking, I thought mindfulness. We talk a lot about mindfulness, and I talk a lot about mindfulness. And when you are, like the example I gave about me and the tax situation, that's just one example of something in my life. But I think that most people have things in their life. And what it all boils down to for me is the question, where are you living? Where are you living? Are you living in the present? Are you living in the past? Are you living in the future? So with me worrying about the taxes, that was living in the future, which meant that I couldn't be fully present. I could not be fully present because every time I had the papers on my desk, and every time I looked over at my desk, it was like a shot of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so it's like holding yourself tight because you've got to do it. And then also for me, as I looked at that table, it was like, oh, I remember last year how horrible it was, and the year before how horrible it was. And so I'm compounding the angst. It's like a sandwich. It's closing in on me from the past and the future. When really, just do the damn work, Dr. Sue. Just do it as it comes in, right? And I'm using myself, but I also am speaking to anyone who is listening to me to just do the work. Do the work as it comes in. That way, it doesn't pile up. It's like I think that when I was in AA, one of the things that we had to do was the fourth step. If you work the program, then you work the fourth step. The fourth step is where you have to make amends. The fourth step is oftentimes dreaded by everybody because that means you have to get real honest. And maybe you have never been honest with yourself ever in your whole life. But now you got to dig deep and get real with at least one person, and that is your sponsor. And then you have to go to anybody that you have hurt, offended, or whatever in any kind of way. You got to go and make an amends with that person. And even people who have died and passed on, you still have to do something with them. And so as I went through that, it's like, oh my God, all of this garbage that has accumulated over the years. I went through the 4 step a couple of times because initially you get what's so obvious to you. But then you start moving through the other steps, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember that happened. And then it's like, oh God, yeah, I remember that happened. Well, me going through the 4 steps, it's like I made a commitment to myself about this. When anything affects me, I'm gonna deal with it right then. I'm going to deal with it right then because otherwise it's like a garbage can and you're stuffing stuff in. Well, at some point you've got to empty it. I don't want all that shit in me. So I just deal with it as it comes. Except I haven't really been responsible to self when it comes to dealing with the situation about the taxes. I know better. We all, oftentimes, regardless of what it is that we're dealing with, we know better. We don't need someone else to tell us. We have that internal knowing. Call it your intuition, call it your divine alignment, call it whatever you want to call it your higher self, call it the tree, I don't care. We all
The
have
tree.
that within us that lets us know you're in line. Oh, you're stepping out of line. Oh, you're going to the right. Oh, you're going to the left. Oh, you reel it back in. And so
Yep.
when we get that unction, that urging to reel it back in, then that's time not just to reel blindly, but to sit down and think, well, what the heck did I do? How did I even get here? Because if you don't do that, if you don't have that awareness, if you don't do the analysis, then in 2 weeks, you'll be right back. You'll be right back. So as I'm thinking about what we're talking about and the cleansing process and the self healing and the protection, that self protection and self love, all of this, you can only live right now in this moment. This moment is all that there is. It's all that there is, right? And
Yeah.
when you're worrying about the future, whether it's a future job, a future husband, future wife, future house, future money, when you're worrying about that, then you're not present. You also are not trusting that the universe has your back and your front
Mm-hmm.
and your top and your bottom and your all of you. You're
In
not
front.
trusting. And when you're locked into the past, you can't move forward because all of your energy is he done me wrong, she done me wrong, they done me wrong, the world done me wrong. And so oftentimes we are caught between those two polar opposites. And my God, you, no, you wonder why you're not moving forward in the direction that you want to go. You wonder why, for instance, as it relates to your health, why am I not healing? Every time you lean into the he done me wrong, she done me wrong, they done me wrong energy, you open the wound, right? You lean into, I know that they say this will happen. I know that they say the body will heal itself, but I don't believe it because you stay locked in
Mm-hmm.
place, right? And so self healing, self love, self care begins here. It begins here with the choices that you
Mm-hmm.
make, the decisions that you make. Carrie?
Yeah, you got that right. I don't know if you remember me mentioning in the master class of, I don't know, I think it was a couple months ago. It wasn't the last one, it was the one before that. But I said there's three places that we spend most majority of our time. In the first place is in the past. Then that's, depression, and when we really get down because we are thinking about things that we cannot change. And then the next one is in the future, and that's when we get anxiety and like the palpitations because we are anticipating what's going to happen. It don't matter even if it's a good thing. Still, that's the future. We can't live there, which is why we feel that separation, which is why we feel that stress between what we're thinking and where we are. It's a very uncomfortable thing, and not in a positive way because, like you said, right here, right now is the only thing we can have. So, do you remember what I said the third place was? I don't know if you was on that masterclass or not. I don't think you were. Did anybody in the comments want to guess? Because I don't know if anyone was in that masterclass that's in the comments. I'm looking, but I don't think Michelle was. I don't Sandy, Daryl, Angelique. I don't think any of them were. So the first one was the past. The second one was the future. And most people in the masterclass said, "Oh, the present. That's the other place. Because the past, present, or the future. Like what other places are there?" Thank you, Ebeth. And other people's business. That's where we spend. So
Oh, I would not have gotten that. I okay.
that's where we spend it. Because a lot of the decisions that we make is based on what other people are going to think, what their reaction is going to be, what their
Mhm.
emotional breakdown is going to look like, what we're going to have to do to. And you know, one thing I'm telling you, what we got to give up in 2020. What year is this? 2025. Look at the one thing we got to give up in 2025 is worry about what other people gonna think about what you doing with your own life.
Yeah.
It is your life. It is your life alone. When you came in the world, you didn't know nothing about it. I mean, you knew everything about it, but you forgot. Like, it's white
Right,
clean. You
right.
didn't know nothing about it. And as you start to grow, you learn your language from your parents. You learn your religion from your parents. You learn your temperament from your parents. You learn, and I'm gonna say parent and use that term loosely because whoever reared you, we learn these things from them. But those things are borrowed until we assign them to ourselves. But a lot of us fail to realize or to know, or we are not taught enough that just because someone has co-signed something for you doesn't mean you have to put your name on it. You do
Uh-huh.
not have to put your name on the religions, the temperament, the idealism, the ideology, the mindset, the maturity, the temperament. You do not have to take on anything, and all things can be learned and unlearned. You just have to know what you want for yourself, for your life, and take the necessary steps to be that. Because if you are living in the past, it's based off of something that can't be changed. You're living in the future, it's based off something you have no precedence to even compare anything to. And if you're in someone else's business, you are giving up your power to make your own decisions. Because if you, there was a post on Facebook a couple years ago, and when I tell you, I've never seen the post, but someone told me about the post, and I've never forgotten it. And it said, if I'm over here in my business and you're over here in my business, who's minding your business? Because you cannot be in two places at one time. So get in your business. And I want everybody to really get about their business. You know, like there's a scripture in the Bible, I forget what it is. I'm gonna be about my father's business. You gotta be about your
Mhm.
business. Be about your business. And your business, you're the CEO of your life. You make all the decisions. All the decisions go through you. Nothing is finalized unless you put your personal stamp on it. And when you do, you own it. But let me tell you something about that too. Your personal contract.
Am I frozen or you? Can anybody hear me?
Dr. Sue just waited. I cut my
Okay, there
camera off.
you
I
are.
think I think it's my bandwidth. So, but I was just saying, like, if we have a contract, like I don't know if anyone on here is familiar with soul contracts or life contracts or any of those things. But we have to know that any contract can be broken. Any contract can be broken because we get a negative connotation when we want to say the word like renege or go back on our word or whatever. But that's life. Because I'm gonna tell you something, and some people may get mad about this one right here. So I'm glad I'm off camera. They can't prove I'm the one that said it. No. ah, ah, say.
What you saying,
Did
Carrie
God
Irene?
in the Bible, did God not change his mind? Did we not get free from the Old Testament? So the last thing I want to hear is some comeback, from a religious text, because I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. I want to see y'all see my face. I say I don't want to hear it. Change your mind. Change your mind, and I'm gonna tell you why you should change your mind about things that no longer work for you, because you're the only one who can. No one else can do that. They can't make up your mind. They can't change your mind. They can't finalize your mind. They can't stop your mind. And they have no idea what's going on in your mind. Because every decision we make, it ain't no, should I do it? Yes or no? Oh, yes. No, it is days, hours upon days of us going back and forth and playing out every scenario that we think about these things. And the crazy thing about it is that when you change your mind, you go with the new idea as if the old one never existed. No, we don't do it, right? That's what Michael A. Singer said one time. She said, a lot of times, like your inner roommate, that inner voice in your head, some days if you sit and you truly listen to it, you would never want to hang out with it again. If you personalize it and make if you personalize it, put it in human form, you'd be like, this person is psychotic. Like, this person is crazy. Because one minute you're saying, it ain't no way he loves me. This is Michael A. Singer talking. There's no way he loves me. But I can't even understand why he do that. Oh, he probably has good reason. I'll leave him out. I'll forgive him. But if he ain't got a good excuse, I'm gonna leave him. I don't ever want to hear him from him again. And we just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Guilty.
But at
Guilty.
some point, you have got to sit outside of that voice and look at the voice and just enjoy the show. And once it settles, decision. Because in the midst of the match, don't make a decision. Just let it be. Let it be. And a lot of us make the decision in the midst of confusion. What do you think is supposed to come out of confusion? Confusion. Right? If two black people make a baby, the baby gonna be black. If a black and white person make a baby, the baby gonna be mixed. If two Asian people make a baby, the baby gonna be Asian. If you make a decision and it's based off your confused ass thoughts in your head, you're gonna make a confusing decision, which is gonna amplify more confusion. Settle in yourself, honey. Settle in yourself. Settle in them receipts when you're doing them taxes. Don't do it confused. What Michelle said, I had to remove my emotions from what my parents' emotions are about my behavior. A lifelong shedding of their thoughts about me. Yeah, because why? Thing you can know for sure about anybody's thoughts about you is that it's none of your business. It's not your business. But as soon as you start to believe what they say, you completely changed. You done went from an LLC to an S corp, baby. Like, why did you change your structure? You did that.
Mhm.
That's what you did. Now they can say what they say. Do you know how many things people have said about me? One of the big things that bothered me in the past is someone called me a womanizer. And this is when I'm in my 20s. I'm doing my thing, whatever. But one thing I would always was, no matter how wild I would get, I was always really good to people, not just women, people in general. I don't care who you were. I love people. I love all people, all people. There's people that people think I should write out of my life. I should cuss out, do away with, all those things. But that's just not who I am. I may not talk to you because it's not healthy for me, but I love you. I don't
Mhm.
care who you are. I don't care who you are, what you did to me. I love you. And I don't love you because you deserve it. I love you because that's who I am.
Yeah.
And you can't let people shake you from who you are. Because you are love. That's what you were put here for. That's the only thing that even matters is love. Because that type of love, and I ain't talking about no romantic love. It don't come kissing on me, baby.
Mhm.
No. I'm talking about this kind of love, agape love, the love
Yeah.
that don't
Yeah.
judge. Because you can be batshit crazy, just be batshit crazy over there. I love you. You go ahead. You get it. You flap them back wings. You hear me? Ooh, you crazy. You the craziest one I ever seen. You the craziest one. And let that be that. You know? I'm just saying. What you think? What you think?
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. I want to go back though to what you were saying about us, each person having, in essence, the power to change their thinking. Um, I think that that is certainly a true statement. The problem for most people is that they don't know it. They don't know that they have that power. Most people are walking around in a conscious state of unconsciousness. They're conscious because they're walking around. They're conscious because they think they're thinking. They're conscious because they are making decisions, but they're unconscious with regard to why they're making certain decisions, or all of that subconscious programming that happens in the first few years of your life. But they're also unconscious to the fact that we've lived many lives and this is just another life, and that we bring all any unresolved learnings, lessons, issues, we bring them with us. And so when we're here, we're still working on stuff. Um, People are unconscious for the most part of understanding that we don't have problems, we have experiences. And I can say that because that's the space that I lived in. I called it, this is a problem, and that's a problem, and he's a problem, and she's a problem. When I changed the way I looked at things, as Wayne Dyer said, it the way I looked at things changed. My everything changed. It's like, no, it's not a problem. It's just an experience. And it's an experience that I chose to have in terms of the lessons learned, even though I wasn't aware that the lesson would be presented to me in this way. The people who are in my life are there very intentionally, because we do travel through time, such as there is in soul groups. And so everybody on this thread and everybody that's in our lives are people who are supposed to be here, because we're supposed to teach, to touch each other in some way. And some people are closer to us than others. And I always think of it as like, before we came into this life, you and I had a conversation, and we may have had many conversations. And I said, for instance, well, I want to learn this. Well, I want to experience this. Well, what do you think about that? And I turned to you and said, I said, will you help me? And you said, oh, absolutely, I will. I will help you. Now, you didn't tell me how you were going to do it. You didn't tell me the specifics. You just supported me. You said, I will. And then I said, and how can I support you? I'm going to help you too, because we're going to be together, right? And we're going, yeah, that, got it. And so we come in and we forget that we made that contract. We forget that we made that agreement. And then when you come in and I fall in love with you and you treat me like shit because I need to learn self love first, like, what the fuck? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Well, what when you can step outside of yourself and you understand the process of life at the very universal level, then you understand, well, this is what I am here to learn. Maybe I'm here to learn trust. Maybe I'm here to learn self love. And the people who are in my life have said that they would support me in that. They didn't tell me how, exactly what they were going to do. Here's the thing: if a person, before coming into this lifetime, told you what they were going to do to support you, you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't learn what you are here to learn, because you'd go, ah, but when it slaps you upside the head a few times, knocks you down, kicks you around, you go, oh shit, I got it. God, I got it. And God says, okay, all right, you got it. You got it. And then it comes one more time, just to be sure. And so people in general don't have that understanding, and that's foundational. People, even in the conscious realm, in general, people are not critical thinkers. And so they accept what they are presented with. If you attempt to explain to them that, hey, there's a whole nother world that you can't see, but it is much more powerful. And in it is what, how about you say, you are a multifaceted, multi-dimensional person who lives in multiple dimensions all at once. And every time you make a decision, the decision that you make takes you down one road. You got 15 decisions that you could have made that you didn't, but you went down all of those roads in a different dimension. They're ready to take you away. I can assure you. But that is the way, my understanding. I don't ask anybody to believe what I believe, but that is my understanding of how this thing called, I don't even want to say life, because life is so limiting, right? Um, but existence, this thing that is existence. Um, we have always existed. We will always exist, and so through each existence, we're just having experiences, not problems, just experiences. And to break through the consciousness of the masses and get them to understand that. Good luck, Carrie.
All right, you ain't gotta wish me no luck, cause I ain't trying to get nobody. I ain't trying to get nobody understanding nothing. But I did. I did for a long time. I wanted everybody to understand what I understood. But when I realized what I understood was so minute of what could be understood, it was just like there's no need for me to try to get people to understand what I understand, because they understand something that I don't understand. And the best way for me to get the knowledge that they have and for them to get the knowledge I have, it's just encounter as many people as I can so that I know the path that I'm on. People that you encounter will let you know where you are in life. They'll let you know what path you're on in life. I met so many wonderful people that I can't be mad at anything that happens to me. You know, someone asked me one time, and they actually were very offended by my answer. And they asked me, "What is your favorite thing about us?" And I said, "It's the fact that I met you and that the things are going the way that they're going, that it gives me so much gratitude for my decisions that I end up places where I'm constantly taken care of." And they thought that was a very selfish answer. But I'm like, I can't, how am I supposed to answer that for you? Like, or for anyone? You know, you ask me how I know. And I feel like that is the biggest compliment I can give anybody. Everybody in this chat right now, Angelique, Michelle, Ebeth, Jamie, you, Dr. Sue, everybody who showed up on the line as well. I think Antoine, who else showed up on here? Daryl, Sandy. The reason I know when I'm in the right place is when I look around and see people who got good sense, got good money, got good jobs, got good manners, got good respect, got good bodies. Hello, Shay Shift. You know, when Shay showed up in my life, I'm like, I'm gonna get that 4-pack. I'm gonna get that 4-pack, dog. Because right now I'm working with this keg, but I'm gonna get that 4-pack. You hear me? It's okay. But when you start to see people, don't get jealous, don't get comparison. Know that, okay, so if these people are showing up around me that got their shit together, I know I gotta be doing something right. If these
Mhm.
people are talking about what I'm talking about now, not because you need to be validated, but because how many of us, and this is the one right here, y'all better hear me. How many of us have prayed and wished for someone we could just talk to regular without looking at us like we got two heads? When we talk about energy and light and the ethers and teleport, I mean all the things, the dimensions and planes, and then you talk to people, and then it make you not even want to say nothing no more. It make you want to talk to nobody. You don't want to be bothered with nobody because don't know, like Angelique said, you feel like an alien. You feel like a whole alien because you're like, There's so much going on in my head and there's so much going on in my heart. When you can walk out in the park and you get tears in your eyes and you just start to bawl crying because the world is just so beautiful and there's so many synchronicities that fall into place that shows you and reminds you of where you are, where you come from, and where you're going, and you want to break down and cry, but you ain't got nobody to call, because when you call the people you call, like, oh my God, what can I do? Oh, you no, but no. I
You
want
don't
you to
get it.
just enjoy the all with me. Like, and someone say, hell yeah, girl. Hell yeah, girl. I love it too. I mean, what? Look, describe what you see, cause I don't want to see it. I want to hear how you see it. Don't come on FaceTime. Don't show me. I want to hear you talk about it so that we can stay in that, right in the middle, right in the sweet spot of duplicating that amazing feeling that you have. Because I guarantee you, if anyone out there is seeking money or $1 million, I want you to think about the first thing you buy with that $1 million. How does that thing make you feel? And that
Mhm.
feeling, go do anything that makes you feel that way, and do it as often as you possibly can. And soon, anything that causes that feeling will start coming to you.
Mhm.
Anything that
Mhm.
causes that feeling will start showing up in your life. Anything that cause that feeling won't be able to stay away from you. And that's another thing we got to give up in 2025. Talking ourselves out of our blessings, talking ourselves out of things, because miracles are too seldom, and we want to call them miracles. I like to just call it Tuesday. I just like to call it Friday, because miracles are everything, everyday occurrence for me. Everyday occurrence. When you going down the road and you know good and well that could have hit you, and you're like,
Mhm.
you don't make no Facebook post about it no more. You praise right there in your car, right there in that
Praise
moment.
Lord.
Woo wee, let me pull over. Like, what's a little bit? Keep it,
Yep.
because how we say the body keeps score. The stress you hold about them taxes, or the stress you hold about leaving that lover, or that stress that you hold about going to that job, or that stress you hold about your badass kids, or the stress you hold about whatever you fill in the blank. The body holds the same memory for good celebrations. So when
Mhm.
you get out on the side of the road and you praise because you know you made it through some shit, the body holds that too. The body holds that too. So the way that we can change the score on the scoreboard of life is that we put more points on the side of happy than we do of pissed off and sad and anxiety and depression. We have got to put more points on the board for celebrating good times, high-fiving each other, giving each other hugs, celebrating. That, anybody know me that if you do anything, I'm like, well, what did you do to celebrate? Because you can't just not celebrate, because I don't want you calling me 10 times about something you sad about, and then you win something and I ain't even said shit. I ain't said a word. What? Hey, come on now.
Mhm.
I had somebody the other day when we were on the study hall last Wednesday. Burnett, Michelle Burnett. She's a newer person that I've gotten to know. She said, "You know what? You know what I really like about you?" And I was like, "What that?" She said, "You ain't ashamed to celebrate. You ain't." I'm like, "No. If I make good food, I send everybody pictures. Ooh, look what I made tonight. Put it on I put it on Facebook, all the things, because any reason I can have to celebrate, I'm going to celebrate. And I don't just have to celebrate me, I'm going to celebrate you, because I don't need a reason to celebrate. You woke up this morning, girl. Whoop! I'm happy about it. I'm so happy about it. Dang, it's 10 minutes till 9. That hour went by fast. Dang. Okay,
Mm.
what you got, Dr. Sue? Tell the people something. Tell them something.
Well, I like what you're saying about celebration, and I love what you're saying um, about the energy. Right, when when we're sad, I think certainly it is appropriate to go through a grieving process. It is, and I'm not judging, I'm simply giving an opinion. It is not appropriate to get stuck there. It is not appropriate for your soul to just stagnate, for your spirit to just feel like it's all over. And all too often, when we are confronted with life's experiences, that's what we do. But a little tip is this: gratitude and happiness and all of those are high vibrational energies, right? High vibrational frequencies. And you can't be happy and sad at the same time. And so when you are feeling in the dumps, if you get up and just go outside and stand in the sun, right? Or if it's raining and you look at the miracle of God's, God is just watering the earth. We can't live without water, y'all. What a miracle that is, right? Earlier today, I got this little announcement on my phone about thunderstorms coming through, and they came through hard and fast. It's like, I
Yeah.
love it when that happens. I love it when that happens. So, my point simply is that the body does keep score, but God has given us, God, creator, universe, you call it a tree, whatever you want to call it, has given us, we have built a built-in thermometer to determine how we're feeling, and we have the built-in capacity to change that feeling. And now, if you didn't know before, you know now, happiness and sadness does not live in the same house. Doesn't live in the same house. And if it happens to be a big house and you say, well, yeah, it can, it doesn't live in the same body, y'all. It does not live in the same body. So if you do not like the energy that you are experiencing, do something different. Okay, so you say, I can't be happy. I'm sad. Well, fucking jump up and down. Move, move. Because if you move, and I'm serious, I'm serious as a heart attack. If you jump up and down, you're moving that energy. You are moving the negative energy right out of your body, right? Your body's not going to stay in that state of sadness. And you'll, when you stop jumping up and down, you will feel lighter. You will be amazed that, well, dang, I feel so
Well,
different.
dang.
Yeah, you move that stagnant energy. Energy has to flow. It's supposed to flow through your body just like a current of electricity. When you are attuned to what's happening in your body, you can literally feel it. When I'm not, but even now, I feel it flowing through me. And sometimes it's so strong, it's like somebody just took a fire hydrant, turned it on, and it's
Mm-hmm.
energy. We are energy beings. It is supposed to flow. When you are in shock about something, when you're traumatized, when you have experienced what you view as a loss, that is a shock to your system. And wherever you feel the shock in your system, that's where the energy stops. That's what we're talking about when we talk about energy blockages. We have the auras around us. The auras have dents and dings in them because your energy isn't flowing right. But I'm telling you, movement will change how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're ruminating about whatever it is. He done me wrong, she done me wrong, they done me wrong, and you're on that treadmill, that hamster treadmill. Get up and start moving around. Or something as simple as rubbing your fingers together. Your attention goes to your fingers and to the sensation and away from your thoughts. Real simple. Or focus on your breathing. You don't have to do no box breathing. Hey, God gave us breath, right? But so often we stop breathing. We don't even realize that we have stopped breathing. And so if you want to change your energy, just be very intentional and very conscious about breathing. Not you don't have to get fancy. Just go one in, two out. And now you may not be focusing on the breathing, but now you're just focusing on the numbers. And what are we talking about? We're talking about disrupting the pattern. Disrupt that pattern that you're on and create a new pattern that will change your energy. That's all I'm saying. I love y'all. Be be in love with yourself. For some of us, that's a real hard thing to do. It took me years to learn how to do that. I say about this person that I am now, I fought hard to become this girl. I fought so hard, and I am not under any circumstances willing to go back. And I want to give you my passion so that you fight just as hard for yourself. Don't let anybody turn you around. Don't let anything turn you around. Life is going to keep happening. That's the big secret. Many times as children, we grow up thinking, and she lived happily ever after, and he lived happily ever after. Y'all, what they did is stop having expectations about how it was supposed to be and learn to roll with the current. That's all. Roll with the current, not trying to push upstream against the flow, but just allowing it to move you and knowing that it's all a part of the experience that I'm here to have. Neither good nor bad, just an experience. Just an experience. And what am I learning? And the big secret is this: you will continue to have experiences as long as you are breathing. And in your last breath, that too will also be an experience.
Mm-mm. The river refuses, no, the ocean refuses no river. Jump, yeah, Michelle said, jump, jump,
That's
jump,
what I'm
jump.
talking about.
Act daddy, make you. But the ocean refuses no river. There's no certain one path to whatever it is you're trying to get to. I think a lot of times what most of us feel as discomfort is when we're trying to swim the wrong way. Because the river gonna flow, baby. The current's gonna go. And you gotta flow with it because going against it will do you no good. Because the only thing that you will remember is the fight, not the flow. Because even think about anything that's trying to swim upstream, like trout, right? It's still moving backward. It's still going this way.
It's
Even though
harder.
they're still going this way. And it doesn't have to be that difficult. It really doesn't. Because once you learn that the flow is going to take us all to the same place, oh, wait, listen. It's all going to take us to the same place. And it's day after day after day after day. And we like to call it days and we like to call it months. We have to like to call it years. And that is only for the simple fact that our brains cannot comprehend the vastness of forever.
Yeah,
Because we've always been here
yeah,
and we ain't never going nowhere in one shape or form. So, in this experience that we call life, make sure because you have the awareness and wherewithal of a brain to make your own decisions, that you make your own decisions. Live your life the way you want to live it because ain't nobody standing in the way of you doing that but you. I love you. I sure do. And ain't nothing you can do about it. I mean, nothing. Ain't nothing you can do about it. So until you learn to love yourself, I will stand in your stead. Because I do. I genuinely love every single one of you, individually and collectively. And we do sincerely hope that you come back again, not the next Friday, but the Friday after that. We are here every other Friday night. The late night happy hour with Carrie Irene and DrSue, where what
that's
comes
it.
up.
Comes out. Hey, y'all,
We love you so much.
before we go, I am doing
Please.
a fireside chat tomorrow. Uh,
What time?
12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, Zoom
Eastern.
link,
Eastern Standard
East,
Time.
12 o'clock East, well, Eastern Daylight Time, because we're on daylight now. Um,
Oh.
I
I'm
don't even know how I can,
sorry.
yeah, but
Eastern.
that. But it's just an opportunity to have conversations about spirituality. Tomorrow it's called How to Awaken Your Gifts or How to Strengthen Them, your spiritual gifts. It's going to be very informal, an opportunity to have a conversation. I'm not coaching, I'm not mentoring, I'm sharing. And I chose to do this and will do it. It is a part of my marketing strategy to be transparent, but I chose to do this because you alluded to this earlier when you said it would be that there's so many of us that just wanted somebody that we could talk to. I
Yeah.
didn't have anybody that I could talk to. Just the questions that were going through my mind, the things, the experiences that I was having. It's like, this is some freaky shit, you know? and then to talk to somebody and have them begin to look at you side eye. Well, I want to create community. I want to create a space where nobody's looking at your side eye, because we all going through some stuff, and if we haven't gone through it, we will be going through it. And just an
Ain't it?
opportunity to share, so that you know you're not alone, you're not strange, you're absolutely perfect just as you are. Come in your greatness and let's just share. I'm also going to be doing a podcast, Navigating Spirituality. Now, that'll be a teaching platform. I'll probably start within the next week, now that I have my taxes done. Uh, but those two things are really important and near and dear to my heart. So join me if you will. I posted the link. I think I sent it. But if I didn't, I'll go on and post it again. Let's see.
You think you sent it where?
I think I posted
Facebook?
it on. Well, I know I posted it on my
Yeah, I
Facebook
know you
page.
posted on Facebook. Yeah, I know you posted on Facebook.
Yeah. So I don't
Where did you
know.
post it though? Did you post it on ATBA? You posted it on ATBA.
I
That's where you
thought I
did.
did.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
I
go.
was looking on your page.
It's on my page. It's on my Instagram page, my Facebook page. Um, and I'll go on and pin it up at the top. But I would love to have you all, your friends, your family. I'm wanting people who have great energy, people who are, what's the saying? We see, we hear, we don't judge, because everybody's experience is different. But we're all, as Carrie said, we're all connected, and ultimately we're all going the same place.
Yeah,
Those are my last words. I love you all.
absolutely. I love y'all too. And I put the link for the Facebook post in YouTube, since this is already live to Facebook. And then once we get off here, we can put the link to the post in Facebook as well.
Okay.
So tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, that would be 11 Central Time. It would be 9 a.m. Pacific Time. 9 Pacific Time. So that's what, 8 Mountain Time. I always forget Mountain Time. There's this lady, they Quita. She always say, "You always forget Mountain Time." I'm like, not on purpose, but I don't know nobody. It's like that many people live in
Yeah.
Mountain Time. But we
So
love you
grab your
so much.
favorite
There's
drink.
nothing you can do about it. And we're gonna see y'all hopefully week after next when we come back with another late night happy hour with Carrie Irene and DrSue. Bye, y'all.
Love you. Bye. As I was thinking about what we are doing, it really is an opportunity for people to connect with their beingness. We are not conscious of the compartmentalization. We just say, this is who I am, right? Who you are is different depending on the environment that you find yourself in, or the people that you find yourself connected with. So I hold myself out as an example. At 71 years old, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to self-acceptance. And I think it may be that way for many of us, that we look at the pieces of ourselves and decide, I can show that, no, I can't show that. Is there a danger? How deep is the danger if I show you all of me? Oh, I can show these people this part of me, and these people this part of me, and these people this part of me. And then the question is, how long before you get tired of just compartmentalizing your beingness?